Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm here with my good friend Sara Kajawa, who was you're going to introduce your Facebook page. You did it so good the other time.
Hi there, I'm Sara Kajawa, and my Facebook group is Doing Grief Differently with Adam and Sarah, and my son Adam in spirit, who crossed over in 2014. And we co-created a group to help others on their journey through life and through grief. So please come join.
Yes. And you did it good. And when I say that, I'm talking about the video that we already did on this that we deleted.
We messed up.
We really had to get ourselves grounded. We really had, this is such a huge topic that we could go on in 50 million different directions. And that's why we were talking, about the possibility, and it depends on if people are interested in doing a little Zoom get together where we answer questions and channel answers about this topic. It would be like $10 per person. If you're interested, please just PM me or Sarah on Facebook or email below, whichever.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
It would be fun. And we're talking about parallel lives, parallel lives, higher timelines, realities. And the thing about this is it's such a vast topic. Now, when I say parallel lives, because I've been kind of feeling it, pushing to talk about this, I feel that parallel lives is two things. And one is, when you make a big decision here, I feel like part of us, I don't even know how to explain it. I can't explain it. There's a part of us, there's a version of us that goes the other way that we didn't choose, and a version that goes this way, and we're just in whatever version. And that's one way. But also parallel lives to me is any lifetime that you've lived before or in the future or now alongside with yourself, where your soul is living, because time isn't real, so it's parallel. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it can get very confusing, and obviously neither one of us have a science background, but we're going to be able to just talk about it, how we can relate it to our lives, and to help you to understand different versions of this, because it is a very in-depth topic. But what our concern is to help others, to empower them to choose a higher timeline, higher reality that feels more freeing and less dense, less rigid. Because we're constantly changing timelines. It's just our energy and vibration constantly. Mm-hmm. It's just every millisecond, probably at all times. It's just we take a different path sometimes, and when you're off, when you've made a bad decision, or you wish you would have had done it a little differently. So you have to get back and jump back on that other timeline. So jumping timelines, changing. Mm-hmm. So even with me, after Adam's passing, of course, I was down in the depth of grief, and that is the farthest thing from my reality. I just wanted to be able to breathe. And then as I worked through this and processed and realized this awakening is all about healing all your hurts and traumas and become more of a powered creator, that I really focused on empowering myself. And that's where I found back my connection with source and with, our angels, guides, our loved ones. But that I felt like I jumped versions. Like I am not the same person, obviously, I was before Adam passed or during that grief, but I feel like I jumped multiple leaps and bounds. Like if you want to say, I don't want to say like a walk-in, because some people like to use the term walk-in, but it's a more upgraded version of yourself you're always striving for. So then
walk-in is such a weird term, and I think I understand it in the way a lot of people say it, but I think what you're saying is you've pulled in more your higher self. And mm-hmm. I think that
okay, and I think a lot of walk-ins it's just a broader version, like Bashar. Bashar is a higher
because what you do is you come in here. That was very Italian sound. Wait, you come in here and you pull in any aspect you want to help you wherever you are at that point in your life, and then you say, you know what, I'm going to pull in my higher self at this point, and that helps you bring
higher self. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Higher. Now it doesn't mean like you're better. It's just you feel better.
Oh yeah.
You're given these choices, and you outgrow, when you're making these, you just know when you outgrow, it's no different than we don't do the same thing. And we're not attracted to the same things we were even 10, 20 years ago. We're not attracted. We've outgrown it. So you outgrow these things because you're striving for a better version of yourself where you're enjoying life with more ease. You're more resilient. You're more resilient. You work through your big obstacles. So then any obstacles that cross your path that you've put in the way, you can work with it and alchemize it versus, have come to Jesus moments every second of every day.
Yes. I'm sure you've had this happen before. I've had my guides tell me, okay, you need to pull all your energy into this timeline so you can move to which I guess that's when you're on your higher timeline, right? So pull all your energy back to this timeline. Let's pull all timelines and close them into this one kind of thing. And what it does is it's kind of the same thing as we were talking about with relationships in a way, is pulling that energy back to yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're visualizing because your body doesn't know if it's actually happening. It's going by the vibration of it. So you got to conceptualize it and see it. So it becomes 3D in your reality. You're pulling it in. So it comes into your reality and physical. Okay. So for instance, this is what you see in your future. You're always striving. You're always affirming those beliefs to surround it. You're not condescending yourself and bad talking, under your breath, because that's going to slow down that energy. But you got to get to that place to realize that, because it's patterns. It's breaking those patterns. And
it is, and you just made some flash in my head while you're talking about this. And it's the same thing with, I told you I was guided to stop looking at things like tarot at this time. But that's my own personal thing. I'm not telling people not to look at tarot. What I'm telling people though, is that oftentimes, even if you have a favorite tarot reader who usually is spot on for you, you start to look at that and you're like, oh, okay. And you kind of manifest things accordingly. And so you got to be really careful with that. Like, as far as tarot is concerned, if you're looking at tarot and I'm a Taurus, and this one chick says, oh, that dude did this and he's going that way and this, and you don't like it, you know what? Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Do you want to manifest bad stuff into your life? No. And if you had bad stuff, there's no reason it has to stay there. This is what manifestation is. Manifestation is finding your highest timeline. It's finding the highest timeline for where you're at right now. What is your next level? What is your next step? And why do we think that we have to go through such horrible lows to get to the highs? We don't,
because we're taught that you got to work your butt off, to earn this. You know what I mean? It's all about earning a right
and self-worth. And the thing, so self-worth is very important. It's a self-love thing. And then, we've talked about this. Like, I know in my journey, I've had to heal things. I've wanted to heal things. I wanted to do this stuff so that I can have, more of the purity that pure energy inside of me. Not because I think I have to be punished to do things, but there are things I have to heal. There are things they're in your energy field. You have to let them go so that you have a clear, vessel to bring that light in and move through life, if that's what you want. But you don't have to suffer to get things that you want in life. It's just not
suffering. I think is an option. It's an option how long you suffer, whether it's 1 minute or 100 years, whatever. But you know what I mean? You got to get to that place of empowering thoughts and not allowing something external, whether it's a person or a card. And actually, even on the tarot card, it's still the interpretation of the reader.
Yes.
Because there's still probable timelines. And the tarot might have pulled in a timeline that you were thinking about subconsciously, thinking, well, I probably won't get that job. I probably won't get it. And then you get a tarot card reading and it says, chances are that you're going to be searching for a new job. And you're like, oh, see, it just reinforced what I was thinking. You know what I mean?
And then you hold, yes.
So there's always probable, but that's the probable. Like, so if someone asks for a psychic read, or, for either one of us or whatever, we can say, here's the probability. It looks like I'm going to ask, like, based on today's energy, it looks really good. In the next 3 months, about 80 to 90% chance if you stay on this timeline.
Yeah, so that's why me and Sarah both work in self-empowerment, because you teach yourself how to channel, how to find your higher timeline, how to keep yourself on track and not have to put your power outside of yourself. Yeah, for sure. But
because whatever we think, there's energy to our thoughts. So really paying attention to your subconscious, because you don't realize, it's kind of like we're always on autopilot. Most of us are, especially when we're going through heavy stuff. It's like, I just want to make it through the day. I want to get to work. I want to do this, get it over with, come home, watch TV, eat dinner, go to bed. I want a new day. I want the day over. So you're on autopilot, but then you're like, oh, well, how can I empower? How can I change things up to accelerate and speed up my energy? How many times I know I felt like I don't want to say such crap, that I made a choice not to do this or this, but yet I knew in my heart of hearts, if I were to do that, say, go for a walk, even when I was down in the dumps, my energy was low. And I kept hearing, if you just go for a walk, go for a 10-minute walk, that'll lift your energy. Your endorphins will kick in. But no, I'm going to punish myself. I'm not going to go for a walk. Well, then I stew in that deep energy for even longer, right? So I'm doing it to myself. Those are just simple examples.
No, and it's good, because it's the same thing with anxiety. If you have because I get that. Go outside and move around. Go outside in nature, move around.
Move the energy.
Move the energy. Yeah, it's anxiety going through you. It's sadness going through you. It moves the energy, and it freshens your energy back up. You're right.
Yeah, it's like a reset button, but we do it. It's no different. Oh, you shouldn't. Now your stomach's hurting. Oh yeah, but I just want a little bit more. I just want a little bit more. You're gonna regret it. You're gonna regret it. And then I eat it, and it's like, well, I certainly can't go for a walk now.
You killed two birds with one stone.
So I didn't get to jump the higher timeline. That was my own doing.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's my own doing. Nobody else's. It wasn't anything. No one.
I could have gone for a walk and talked to my good friend Annette. And look at me. I'm sitting here miserable with my belly hanging out.
Or jumping, a fun way to jump a timeline is like something mundane tasks you don't like to do. Say for you and I, grocery store. You've got to come up with some fun ways to approach it and go, okay, I look for signs in the grocery store. Like, I'm going to feel a pull to go to this checkout line, or there's going to be signs at the checkout line, while I'm waiting. So it gives me something to look forward to. Because if not, you're just on autopilot, complete autopilot. Like you're on that down timeline until you're done and you get home, put everything away, and then you can jump it again. But figure out ways that are going to help you to shift, where there's just sitting and doing belly breaths for 3 minutes. That can help shift it. Anything to move that energy. We do it to ourselves. It's almost like we purposely sit through commercials. We know this commercial, say we're watching a movie or our favorite show, and we couldn't record it. We couldn't wait for the anticipation. So we have to wait, or we want to watch it when it first airs. And then when commercial comes on, we sit there for that 3 minutes. You know what I mean? And we just sit there on autopilot for 3 minutes. And then subliminally, we're getting brainwashed for food or medications or something or whatever. But it's like, oh, we do that all the time on everything.
Yeah.
It's like we keep repeating these commercials all the time of all kinds of stuff in our lives that have happened or whatever, over and over. And it gets.
I know. And we could be creating, manifesting. I'm not going to say, I was doing that earlier, and I'm not going to talk.
You don't talk about that. But like for me, a fun, easy way is like, well, Pinterest, of course, that's just get you sucked right in. But if you're a creative of arts, or we're talking about baking contests or whatever, fun way is just to look at something that's going to get your creativity going, and it drives you to your passion. So, whatever it is, it's up to you to shift your energy. Don't wait for something external. Right. Yeah. And like if you and I get asked to do something or invited to something, you go, I'm done with that. I just don't want to go. That's just not fun. Doesn't sound fun to me, or whatever it is, whether it's a grouping or going to the club or whatever it is. It's like, no, I'm done with that. Because I would regret it until that date. See how it would bring you down on a different timeline.
Yeah. Yes. Self-love. Self-love goes a long way to keep you on a higher timeline.
Yeah.
And it does. It helps you put boundaries up, and it helps you, give to yourself, like we were talking about with relationships. So
Yeah. And fears. Now fears come up. That's a whole other thing to look at. Fear of going out or whatever. You know what I mean? You want to go out, but you have a fear of going alone or, having a conversation with a stranger or whatever it is. That's something different.
I think you need to have a couple kids if you're afraid of going somewhere alone. Because I remember before kids, you're like, yeah, it's just one. After kids, yep, one, just one. Yes. And you'll be sitting all proud at the whatever restaurant you're at. You're sitting tall and proud. I'm here alone. Yes. Like, it's so funny how different your mindset is if you just, and you don't have to have kids to get there. You know what? Celebrate going somewhere alone. Love your own company. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun to have company besides yourself.
Yeah, I think it's just getting out of your comfort zone and doing something different. If you're going, I never go. If you keep saying I never or but you don't understand or it's because of this, then you're still on an old timeline. You're still in your history. You got to clear that history and try something different. Maybe the universe is pushing you to be alone still at this time so you can get out of your comfort zone. There you go. You're going to get the giggles again.
I'll tell you
what else about timeline reality. So think of it as you've got multiple potentials at every given minute, whether you choose this to do or turn right, turn left. You set your alarm at this time in the morning. It's constant. So you're always reaching for something that feels a little bit more at ease. That's your goal. That's your higher timeline because you're incorporating more of your higher self. Your higher self, your soul self, is perfectly fine. There's nothing disturbing it.
Everything
is disturbing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we think about all the piddly stuff that really throws us off.
Yes. Yes, we cause suffering by our attachment to things, right? Well, that's a whole nother subject. Right?
Whole nother subject.
Yeah.
As far as self-empowerment and understanding that your vibration creates your reality. And that is everything from, walking outside. Do you enjoy the environment you're in your home, or do you have a special room at least you can go to? What's going on at work? Is traffic really bothering you? You got to figure out all these things. Everything affects everything. What you're eating, what you're drinking, everything affects everything. What you're listening to on the TV, what you're watching, all that affects everything. If you keep looking at like me, like, yep, I need to scrub the floors today. Oh, I think I'll wait till tomorrow. You know what I mean? I keep coming up with a different reason. But you know how freeing it is once you do it? Then I clean the floor.
Not clean them? What?
I feel so much better when the floors are clean.
Okay, but that's you. That might not be every
timeline. That's my timeline.
Absolutely.
That because I was like, oh, okay. Now I don't want to worry about walking around barefoot, et cetera, et cetera.
That is true. I get that. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So figure out what it is that you don't like around your environment and then be a part of the solution.
I think so. And I think, one of the things, if we do if we do a Zoom,
we do a workshop.
I know. If we do a workshop, I think we're going to talk about, I was talking to you about this, things like, and I think this is kind of an intricate thing. Like I've told you, I've had to heal a timeline that was kind of a parallel timeline. And at that time, I was feeling a lot of grief. I was crying. I was in grief for a long period of time. I wasn't sure why, but I had to go through it. And later, my guides are like, you need to heal that timeline. You need to bring your timelines together, heal that timeline. And I think we'll look at that too. I think we can answer questions, personal questions on that. Well, was this another timeline when I went through this because it didn't make sense kind of thing? But healing timelines, sometimes we need to know and sometimes we don't need to know to bring the energy back together. It's not always something you have to know. we just have, you know, the thing about it is intention is key. Awareness is key. So, you know, bringing it together.
Sometimes we like control. That's why we want to figure it out. But sometimes it's a natural unfolding or it's layers to it. You got to figure it out today and you get it. And that gives you that sense of peace. But then it's like you still feel like you're not in the driver's seat. But when you're in your driver's seat is really when you incorporate more of your higher self, because you're living more, you're in the now. You know,
and you don't like, because I never even thought about it. I just went through the grief. I never needed to know. I've never asked that kind of thing. I'm kind of one of those, sometimes I ask, but usually I'm just, I'm going to just keep going this way. I have a goal and I'm going toward my goal. You don't have to tell me all the reasons why they got screwed up. Let's just get back on track kind of thing, you know? But yeah.
Because maybe it was your higher self that was off track, and that's why all those things kind of, you know, cause the hiccups.
Because what if your higher self wants to experience both timelines? There's that too. So you have to, I mean,
it can be all different ways, whatever makes you feel better in that moment, because it could change. 3 months from now, we can have a discussion about this and we can add, change, whatever, talk about different ways.
I mean, it could be deja vu. We could be on a higher timeline. We could be inviting
all potentials are there. All the potentials are there.
Yeah.
So meaning if you can see it and you can feel it, the potential is already there. It's already there for you to grasp if you're ready to, mentally and emotionally.
I agree. And if you can think it up, if you can think it up,
it already exists. It's already there.
Absolutely. I love that.
You know, it's already there. That's the weird part. It's already, I don't want to say happened exactly, but the potential's already all there. It's just up to you to kind of navigate through it. And that's why they keep saying, you know, all the big gurus, that you never get it all done, because there's always more. Everything we've put into this life was put in. There's just so much, it fills up. And we just keep adding to it every day because we want to try this or experience this or go through that, and takes us on another journey, another timeline, another reality, and we add to it, and it's ever expanding. And then we keep growing with or without a body. We just keep growing. So it's like we're focusing whatever your attention's put on, that's your timeline. It doesn't mean you can't see, like when you go, but I really want to do this. I'm thinking about this. I wonder if this would happen, you know, if I could create this and save up and I want to go on this trip or do that, or versus getting sucked into the drama of the world. That's gonna pull you on a lower timeline. It's going to pull you on a lower timeline, and people are getting fed up with it. And that's why you're going to see more and more people become feeling more empowered, because they're going to get sick of news, government, whatever, you know, authoritative people telling you what to do. And you're going to go, no, I know what feels better for me. I'm sick of people telling me what to do and what to think, what to say, you know? And the only way to really empower yourself is to get in there and investigate yourself. You know, you know when something's off. Or if you need something that needs to be healed around that.
You know, you're talking about this, and it just reminds me of, like, we've had this conversation. People in my life get frustrated with me because I am, and it's just something I signed up for. I'm like a visionary. Like I have to hold a vision. And I've asked my team, why is it you're supposed to hold this vision? So there are those of us, I'm not special, who want to hold the vision of the highest timeline in all cases, right? So we are often blinded to what's going, like, I don't know what's going on in the news. People get frustrated with me.
Right.
What's wrong with you? Don't you know? No, I don't know what's going on in the news, because I'm holding this vision. I'm holding this timeline. And whether you like, whether you like it or not, an anchor, that's absolutely a word I've heard used. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to call me naive, because I'm really not naive or not, It doesn't matter because this is something that some of us sign up for. And I'm saying this because there's someone that's going to watch this who has this conflict going on because they want to be in this, there's a relationship and they want, I'm picking this up. They want to be in this relationship properly in the 3D. And so it's kind of pushing against their, you signed up to be a visionary. And this person has to accept you. I've gone through this with people. People have wanted to leave my life because of it. And if they do, they do. And if they don't, they don't. That's just the way it is. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's what you wanted to do. How can we move things forward if we don't have a certain amount of people holding a vision? It helps move the energy. It helps move people toward the energy of getting there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's
I don't know. It just came.
No, it's perfect because that's who's ever in your circle or who you like to listen to, who you talk to, or the energy, the people you want to be entertained by. That's the energy. Those are the people that are holding it. So if they're in that lower reality, you're going right into that. It's okay if you can learn to be more resilient, pop out, like learn, watch, investigate something that's going on in the world that you want to know about. But you got to go jump that. It feels like crap. You'll know if you think the world is doomed or whatever, if you're in the self-pity mode, that you're in the lower timeline. You wouldn't be watching this video right now, first off, but you're in a lower timeline and you're just saying, oh, that's someone else's reality. That's, you know what I mean? I don't want to be in that reality. I want to focus on what I can help myself with. And in turn, it expands outside of me and helps everyone else.
It does. It does. Absolutely. I was just
you
thinking
are who
that
you
too.
hang around.
Yeah.
You are who you hang around.
Because you're not hurting anyone by holding the vision. You're helping, if anything, you're helping yourself. And when you're in a good vibration, people don't really get how much their vibration affects other people, especially people who are not awake and in control of their own energy.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you know why a lot of, and I'm not downing people because I've been there before. When you're in a really down, icky place and heavy regret, grief mode in your life, anger, you want company. So you want
misery loves company.
You do. So you're going to attract those kind of people. And then you realize, oh my God, this feels like doo-doo. I'm making myself physically and mentally sick. And the only person that can get yourself out of there is yourself. But if you don't know it and you've never experienced or you've been in this rut for a very long time, it's hard to see it any other way. So you got to change your habits. Got to change. You got to get off autopilot. Do things differently. Try different things. When people say, "Oh, I've already done that, Sarah," or "I used to do this," or you were a different person a couple of years ago. Try it again. Try variations of it. Try different things.
Oh yeah, because the energy will come in differently. And we could go on for years with this. We could. But you know what I really want to do? If you feel like we can wrap up, do you feel like we can? I really want to try to do some toning and see if this microphone lets it come through.
Go for it.
Okay, hold on.
You do the toning. I'm gonna pull a card for the group.
Okay, yay. All right. So whatever this can help you with, healing, moving your timelines, whatever your intention is, make your intention and pull the energy in. All right.
I already know it's going to pull in and it's going to shift energy in my tummy because I'm hungry. So go.
Okay. All right. Okay. I have to say this. Is it the donut that I brought up?
It's probably that. That's right. And I went to Trader Joe's early this morning. Trader Joe's.
Oh, yeah.
Fun food. Okay. Unhealthy food.
All right. And also, if the sound of this didn't come through, just like the other ones, just put yourself in the mode to pull the energy regardless, because it was done. All right. What did you pull?
Good. It sounded clear.
Oh, good. I hope so.
Maybe probably louder than my microphone, but that's okay. That's fine. Okay. So I pulled one, and it's, I think, a little more personal. And then I pulled a group one. Okay. Here's one that might be more personal. Wonderful news is on its way. Ooh. Announcements regarding engagements, pregnancy, birth, graduation, something special will be revealed. Ooh. New friends will be made, or communities of like-minded people will draw closer to one another. Exciting new beginnings or happy endings are just around the corner. So that's perfect to go with what we talked about.
Absolutely.
And then the second one, choose freedom. Sometimes you may feel as though your way is blocked, but often that's just an illusion. You could free yourself from the obstacles that you're so focused on by choosing a different path. Turn your thoughts away from negativity and instead envision endless other possibilities you might act on. Oh, that's perfect for the time.
That is so perfect. I love that.
Pretty cards.
They are pretty cards. I love them.
Yeah, that was yummy.
It was
so yummy. We'll do another one in the future. We can talk about like fall energies, because I feel there's a bunch coming up for November, December.
Yeah, we need to do that.
We can feel it. We can feel it, like implosion, explosion, breaking down, but breaking down to be fresh start for everyone.
Yes, absolutely. But and that'll help. All right. Well, we love you all. And please like, share, subscribe, leave anything in the comments below that you have a question about. And if you are interested in doing a Zoom, I think we'll just do $10 a person and just all come together.
Yeah. We'll have a topic. We do healing. I can channel Adam. You can channel your guides. We can go from there. Have fun.
All right. We love you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.